favorite part of this bit now is that, like, not only is this have nothing to do with an NFT Friday show, Dwayne
Correct.
Bacon no longer in the NBA. I don't.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I don't know. I bet Greg has no idea that that's that is a thing, that he's no longer in the league, right?
we are isolating this joke down for 3 people, which peak comedy. When it's for no one, that's
yes.
when it's for me. You know what I mean?
Insiders only.
Well, thanks to everybody for being back here. This is a third one of the day. We talked some hoops this morning. We talked some football this afternoon.
How many of the week, Mike? How many for the week? What's the number?
400, I think. 400. Again, quantity over quality is what we've always said here.
Spray and pray.
But yeah, I'm really excited for that. You know what? You can tell I'm excited for this next one because this show isn't even scheduled for Friday. This is a Tuesday show, but we're gonna do it on Friday because there's some excitement here. So we're gonna bring on the Project for the Society, and we're gonna have a handful of people up here talking about their upcoming project. Before we bring them on, too, if you like want to follow along as we go in this journey, if you look in our show notes, I'll share a link in the chat as we get going. But in our show notes, you can find a link to their website and also their Discord if you want to poke around. But very excited to bring everybody on. So I'm gonna bring on the crew right now. We've got Groundskeeper, we got Tanner, we got Fleetwood, and Escape. What is going on, fellas?
What's up?
What's happening?
I'm gonna talk first. Oh, wait. What?
Are we not doing the hood thing? Did no one else get the memo?
No,
where's the memo?
Only for our private meetings.
My bit.
Yeah, listen. The bit held up. You were nervous that we built too much hype around the bit and it wasn't going to work. The bit held up. The bit held up.
Also, I love Dwayne Bacon. Love Dwayne Bacon. That's all I'm gonna say.
Dwayne Bacon supporter already. They were up to a great start.
Groundskeepers for the bit. We like it.
Welcome though. Thanks for coming on. I talked with Tanner a little bit yesterday about this project, and I know you guys have a drop coming up on Tuesday. But let me turn the floor over to you all a little bit to talk to us about what's going on and what the society is all about.
Thanks very much, Mike. So first of all, I'm in the car right now, so I will try to speak. Give you a little bit of background regarding the company, but I'll try to stay quiet so it doesn't background noise doesn't get crazy. But first of all, thank both of you, Mike and Dustin, for having us on. It means a lot to us. I really appreciate your flexibility and accommodating us. I know you do this show on Tuesday, so for you to do this is a big deal for us, and we really want to thank you for that.
Of course.
So, so we're really excited to be here. The society, I should just start from where it started. So one of my very close friends, one of my best friends, Gene, who goes by Nikula in the space, has been hugely involved with NFTs for quite some time now. He's our OG. He's our we call him our father. So Uncle Gene is actually what he's known by within our company. And so Gene, a long time ago, even before Bored Apes, was really diving into the space and got me into the space. And so we, amongst a small group of friends, we started our own little personal DAO and started investing in it and really getting into the space. And that turned into an addiction, really, for me. And it became incredible. I wanted to learn more about it. But I've always had an appetite as well for starting something and creating. So I thought that, okay, well, I love this space. It's incredible. The potential for the future is endless. So maybe I want to go a different direction, continue to invest and support the community, but at the same time, start to build something. And what I noticed by spending time within the community is that while there are incredible projects out there, given my background and my experience, which I can quickly touch on, I realized that there are incredible artists out there in the world, folks that I've been very fortunate to befriend, relationships that I've cultivated, but they have no idea what an NFT is, or they don't even know about collectors or folks in there that are truly interested in art. Let's put aside folks that are interested in flipping and making money. That's all healthy and that's great. But within that, there are folks that are truly interested in the art. And so we thought, okay, well, how do we bridge that gap? How do we take these folks that don't know anything about NFTs, but are brilliant artists, and then folks that are collectors that are thirsty for that type of art and bridge that gap? And that's how the society was effectively born. I've been incredibly fortunate that throughout my career, I've come in touch with people that you're seeing right now on your screen that are brilliant folks. I think the best thing that probably the most effective thing I've ever done in this thing is be able to just bring this group together and form the society around it, because they are just I'm biased, but they're incredible people, and you're going to see that very shortly. So then my co-founder Escape here, we'd worked together, and this idea floated to him. He's also deep in the space, really deep on the technology side and crypto. I'll let him speak for himself, but we started floating ideas and decided, this is the direction we want to go, and the society was effectively born. Escape is one of the more brilliant people that I know. Him and our lead engineer, actually, Div, that had built a company together, which then they sold to an amazing, tech company, and they've done really well. And then Groundskeeper and Fleet, I've known from another company that I worked at. We spent a lot of time together, and they are, again, putting the bias aside, they're absolutely the best in the game. And I encourage you to spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes in our Discord, and that'll be evident, very clear. They're incredible.
You can find 10 minutes when Groundskeeper's not in there. That's probably the best time. But yeah.
Yeah, no. So I am blessed. They have, I will flex. They, have worked from some of the most prominent entertainment companies out there, and then have built profiles and have managed, marketing strategy and, the community aspect for some pretty heavy names. That's important to know, just because they are the best at what they do. And that goes to, I say that for everyone on the team. And then Hugh, who's not here at the moment, is our designer, who's an artist himself, but has helped design our website, and kind of our presence. So the point in all that is to say that everybody here is, they're just absolutely incredible and well-versed in what they do. And so we got together and started to build up the society from there and bridge that gap. So I will take a pause. I've been speaking way too much, but
that was good though. That was
the society was born.
That was efficient though. Like, I feel like you covered a lot in a short amount of time. So that was efficient. Great stuff. All right, let's hear from all these awesome people then that have just been pumped up. I feel like the bar's been set pretty high now though. So good luck, guys.
Well, I'll pump Tantor up a bit. I mean, we joke that he's really our Danny Ocean here. Not to make any heist comparisons.
right.
Yeah, we got to rethink that.
It's incredible.
Good analogy and bad at the same
incredible.
time, right?
Well, first and foremost, we'd love everyone to have an undying trust and support for us, and this is Danny Ocean.
Yeah.
But he really did pull together an awesome team, and I have now worked with Div at 4 different companies, counting the society. I would trust him with anything. As Tantor mentioned, he and I met after the last company that Div and I founded together was acquired and by a large tech company, and that's what I'll say, where Tantor worked. And the two of us very quickly hit it off in the space. I bought my first Bitcoin in 2013. I just checked when it was $70, and then promptly flipped it for, I think, like $90, and thought, all right, there's my gains.
Big W.
So a lot of people here have a story like that.
Drop an F in the chat.
Yeah. But to me, Tantor really captured my attention when he asked a really philosophical question, which is, how do human beings assign value to ideas, and how do NFTs teach us a little bit about that? And so we really started in that place and talking about exclusivity and the idea of scarcity, and how scarcity is more than just about something being made tangible in a certain sense. And very quickly, it became clear that we wanted to do this thing together. So as our Danny Ocean, but not in the heist sense, started to put together the team. I reached out to Div, and we very quickly as a team, aligned around this notion that we want to do things differently. We've seen a lot of hype projects out there that disappear after the mint. The jokes aside, there's a lot of rugs in the space. We've all been victim. And what we wanted to do is through our actions and words, but primarily through our actions, demonstrate to the community that we were building that we're in this for the long haul, that what we're building is a sustainable company, that we people who've done this before, we know what we're doing, and we're thinking of this as a capital raise, in essence, for a project and company that is going to be here for a long time. So that's why from the get-go, we've committed to quarterly exhibitions of artists in the Society of Artists, Genesis NFT Mints. And we can talk a little bit about this in detail, but we have a warranty in our smart contract, which basically says if we don't raise the money that we have decided that we need in order to fund this company as a sustainable endeavor, we're going to refund the community all of the funds raised through the token sale. And that's something that we knew very early on that we wanted to do in order to really make that statement to our community that this is we're in this for the long haul. We believe in this. This is a new reality for us, and we want to back that up with our actions and back that up by the rule of law that is enforced through smart contracts.
And I feel like that's something we haven't seen, or at least I haven't seen offered in the space either, where it's like, hey, we can't deliver what we're trying to deliver if we don't hit this threshold, so we're not going to take it from you. And I think that's not something Danny Ocean would do. So I feel better about that analogy now. But I love that. I mean, that kind of blew my head open a little bit, where I was like, I just haven't seen that. So that,
I think for me, it was an obvious way to obviously build trust with the community that doesn't know us, but it was a way for us to instantly earn trust with each other. Because I think the warranty idea came out of our first actual team video chat that we were all on. And it was basically agenda 1 before we get started. Does anyone here what do you guys think about this idea of, if we don't do this thing, everyone should get their money back? And everyone's like, yeah, of course. If anyone disagreed with that, I don't want them to be a part of this project, and I don't want to do it. If someone here was like, no, I think we should keep it anyways, that was going to be an out for me. So we started on really great foundation with that. And then of course, I think we were like, well, could we do it? And Div was just like, yeah, no problem. And he wrote it, of course, in like 3 seconds. And it's it's an incredible piece of little smart contract.
I'm going to.
I will just,
Mike.
I will just. So sorry. Just quickly add to that. That one of the pillars of our company is transparency, and for that, as you mentioned, our mint starts next week. We'll get into that later. But our contract is posted. So this, the warranty and everything that we discussed is up. We wanted folks to be able to have the time to audit it and give them enough time, not rush it. It's up for enough time so that people can spend time with it and really see that all of that is true. So just wanted to call that out as well. Thanks.
Yeah, I love that. So if it's cool with you guys, I was thinking I share screen here so we can see the website a little bit, and then maybe you can talk us through like what this is going to look like, because just as someone who's minting things, I saw the price point of 0.3, and my first question was like, oh, that feels a little bit heavier than what I've seen in the past. But then as this idea was explained to me a little bit more, it kind of, again, it went back to like, oh, this is a new thing that I haven't seen yet. So talk to us a little bit about why that price point and what that actually leads to, like what that kind of is the entryway to. And if that totally jumped how you were going to introduce it, sincerest apologies, but here we are.
No, that's a fantastic question, and one that we, folks have asked in our Discord, and we want to just be very upfront about it. We agonized over this price. We've gone back and forth so many times, and what we tried to do is, the logic was, okay, what is the bare minimum that we would be able to charge that seems fair, that allows us to set up the resourcing to create, as Escape mentioned to you, a truly long-term company. So what does that mean? That means that, well, if you're building a company that has to sustain, and then it's a company that also accepts some form of currency, well, then you need to ensure that you have the proper legal, the proper accounting, the proper financing. As the company grows and, the Discord channels and Twitter starts to grow, well, you need to add, additional resources to make sure that you're giving the same attention to a larger community as you are with one that's smaller and growing. So once we started to really map all of that out, we started to back into a price point that would kind of allow this to work.
It's kind of like
yeah.
when Mark Cuban on Shark Tank says, I got to get 20% equity so that I can be invested in this, right? He's like, if you want me to be active and participating and to feel like I've got a real stake in this, this is what it's going to take. So it feels like, if you want this to be done the way it needs to be done, this is what we're going to need so that we can make sure that everyone who's investing in this is getting proper returns, and we're able to do everything that we think we can with what we're setting forth.
You're hired, Dustin. That's exactly right.
I work in marketing, so
that's
yeah.
Hey, Dustin, can you go and
brilliantly
beat the rest of the show? Thanks. Appreciate it, bud.
No, that was brilliantly said. And in our case, just know this is not no one on this team is approaching this as a hobby. I mean, we are 250%, 1,000%, whatever the number is in. And so, yeah, exactly. That's exactly right, Dustin. And I don't even need to say anything. Thank you.
Well, let's keep going. Let's keep looking through the site and talking about this because I'm excited to see more.
Yeah, so I mean, I think I scrolled down pretty quickly, but if you guys you guys want to take us through like the first 2,000 wallets, right? We'll receive the gold collector token, kind of talk about the token and what that actually gains access to.
All right. I'm gonna jump in. I've been quiet, and that's very unlike me to be quiet. So I'm gonna go. Sorry, guys. Okay, so many great things have been said. This team, as we've done with every aspect of this project, the amount of hours that have gone into this website and the presentation of this project is kind of unconscionable. But everything on here is, there's no wasted words, and it's because this is a dynamic project. This is, like, as we keep using this word, different. So, Mike, if you can go to the top, I'll just walk you through it real quick, and we'll just I can go piece by piece. But obviously, we wanted to welcome everybody in, and then Flea came up with this brilliant maximum for our company, which is art for collectors, collectors for artists. And we felt like Fleet has a killer track record of writing taglines, including one that was on a giant billboard in Times Square like 5 years ago.
Unbeknownst to me.
What's that?
Unbeknownst to me.
Oh, yeah. We didn't even know what
they sent me a photo. They're like, look how cool it looks in Times Square. I was like, what?
I mean, I feel like we need to know what the tagline is now, right? Like that can we not do that? Can we not? Okay.
It's that recognizable, to be honest.
I love. Wow.
All right.
So anyway,
it's a little thing I like to call "just do it."
Oh yeah. Ever heard of Nike?
So I don't know where he pulled this out. Like in the first 2 days of this project of the team coming together, we all instantly agreed on a warranty, which was just the biggest sigh of relief from where Fleet and I sat, because we've known each other for so long. And that was definitely a type of like prison we wanted to enter this through. And then the second, 10 hours later, he comes back with this copy, and I'm like, all right, we got things here. Like there are things cooking. So this is a very short intro to what we are about. Maximum of 5,000 collectors. We're dedicated to the celebration of incredible works of art and artists entering this space. As Escape said, 4 times a year we drop a collection, reserving a piece for everybody that has a collector token, which is what's being minted next week. And then our first collection is from an artist named Alejandro Agramonte. He's doing a survey of the gods. That is one collection as a standalone collection that will be apart from the other artists that we commission for our exhibitions for the Society collectors. What you did scroll past was our mint event window is live. We have a wallet check ahead of anybody that's on the whitelist for next Tuesday. We have a phased approach, but I think Escape or somebody will talk a little bit more later how the mint will go. But we put a lot of thought into the mint. So anybody that's on the whitelist can come and check, make sure we have the right wallet for you. And then below that is where we start to introduce, I would call it an offering that we came up with along the way after we started to build this community and realize that, there is more value and more utility we could pack into people that want to become Society collectors. So we introduced the gold token at no additional cost. It is available to the first 2,000 wallets that mint and become a Society collector. Each person on the list is capable of minting 2 tokens maximum. If you're one of the first 2,000 wallets and you mint 2 tokens, one will be gold and one will be standard. But the gold token comes with some additional benefits, including if you mint the reserve piece for your collector token in a collection, you are eligible for an airdrop. We're going to randomly select 100 gold token holders from every collection to receive an additional complimentary piece that the team is commissioning and purchasing from the artist. They will get their commissions for those pieces. And then every gold token holder will receive a complimentary bonus commission from the artist. It's kind of a memento to the overall collection and theme of the piece. The first one is called Zeus's Eagle. the sculptor that we have is just unbelievable. I know we'll get more into the art, but it's a breathtaking piece. And I know Escape has said it before to us, but the first time we saw it, we thought we were all about to get mauled by an eagle on our screen. It's incredible. And then finally, we'll have a place for gold token holders to connect with us, to help us build out this commission, this bonus commission. We want to hear from the community. Obviously, we want to know what the sensibilities of our collectors are and how they feel about the themes that we're diving into and the artists that Tantor is bringing into this community. So this is the space where all of that will happen. So we're very excited to have this additional offering that really acknowledges and rewards the people that found us early and helped us build this community. It's a really hard thing to do when you do it organically. So it felt our duty to provide something additional for those folks. And this is the result. I feel like
I like that. It's incentivizing those early investors or believers, right, in the project to say thank you so much, and as a result, you now are eligible for all of this stuff, which I think is really great.
And I think one thing to emphasize also is that there's a couple different value props here. There's a value prop of being a part of an exclusive community that is collecting here was 5,000. It's capped at that. But beyond that is our whole goal is to find these artists that are kind of that are wildly talented, but either don't know what NFTs are, they don't know how to get it, started in NFTs. So we're bringing you people that are incredible artists, and you're going to get the chance to own their very first piece that is ever released in an NFT. And it's also about supporting these artists too. Like they take at least 50% of the profits from their mint. And that's enough this can change the entire trajectory of their career. Alex is a really, really talented concept designer. And it was what we were blown away in our meeting with him was he almost didn't even consider himself an artist. He was like, I do the contract. And we're like, these works are incredible. Like we're talking about. And the first time he sent us a sculpt, we were like, dude, you are insane. And the speed with which you're able to pull this off, the world is going to know this guy's name, and this is people's chance to have his piece. And what's that 4 times a year? Come on.
What I like about this is what you're saying is that you're bringing artists that are really good at their art and creating this stuff, but don't have the expertise to sort of carry out a project. And maybe they can put out something as an NFT and it's on OpenSea or whatever. But at this stage in the game, at least where NFTs are, people are trying to invest in something a little long-term, maybe even just in the art, so they can invest in the art, but you guys are providing that additional long-term, I guess, utility, if you will, of this is what it is to be a part of this. You're supporting artists, you're getting great art, but there's also a future vision for long-term to be a part of this society, which is maybe something that they don't know how to do, right? They wouldn't know how to approach something like that. And you guys have the background and expertise to say, we can help provide that. And then this can be an enjoyable thing for everyone, just in sort of in the way that you've laid out the name, right? Like it's art for collectors, collecting for art, right? Collecting for artists. It feels like it's something that you guys can provide that is needed.
And I think we all have significant fatigue about chasing projects, right? Trying to figure out which ones are legit, which ones are rugs, which one is just hype, right? And then you mint, and then there was only 2 people that actually minted. I've done that. And we're creating an ecosystem where now you can just relax. Like, of course, find other projects you're interested in, but if you're a society member, you're going to get 4 quality pieces that you can trust in every single year. And I think there's a lot of value in that. I would be relieved to find something like that. So that's what also got me so excited to be a part of it.
I feel like the dialogue a lot of the time too is around wait till NFTs get normalized, wait till more people want to collect NFTs, which yeah, cool. But I think what's neat about what you guys are doing right now is you almost flipped it. You're like, yeah, wait till you get these incredible artists creating NFTs. And I think for a lot of people who like collecting art, both physical and in the digital world, this is a pretty unique opportunity. This is what kind of blew my mind about it is there's a lot we don't know yet. We don't know what kind of artists might come into this space through the society. And I think that is a pretty intriguing opportunity. And also just the first, maybe there's been variations of this, nothing that I've seen. I haven't seen something built like this, which is what got me pretty exciting.
Mike, if you don't mind, you just touched on a very important point. So I just wanted to quickly spend a minute on it, if it's okay. and that is with respect to the artist. We absolutely do not discriminate in terms of, you know, who they are or years of experience or any of these. There's no list that we look at to say, okay, is this bill fit? What we do is the passion that they have, the absolute quality, you know, the fact that they need to, there has to be some sort of a meshing with our company as well. Who they are as a person, the type of art, their passion, all of that is a factor. And so that's what we look at when we start to work with these particular artists. So if you don't actually mind scrolling to Alex, I wanted to touch on that very quickly.
Yeah.
So we thought that so Alex is special for us. He's very special for us because, of course, we want to give the attention to the artist every quarter. We want to build that, you know, and really, really socialize their message and who they are to the community. But Alex is our you know, our launch artist, if you will, and he's basically a part of this family. And we really hope that even in the future and after the collection, that, you know, he's a brilliant person that can, you know, work with us in the future. And I just want to, you know, spend some time just talking about him, because yesterday I had a conversation with you know, with a pretty prominent person in the space. I won't say his name simply because he did not give me the permission to. He didn't say to or not, but I want to be respectful of it. But a quote that he said was regarding somebody like that could truly be underrated. He said, if you take his work and you put it on a wall or you put it in a museum, he's like, I wouldn't flinch. It's absolutely beautiful. And so that, you know, the beautiful thing about the NFT space is taking something like that and an artist who's creating that quality and giving them a platform. And so, you know, that's what it is. But and for that, we have
Tantor, can I jump in and just there's something that
please,
really
please.
reminded me of, which is when in one of our earlier conversations with Alejandro, you know, he pointed out that sculptors like himself are often treated as technicians by the industry. And one of the things that, I mean, it gave me chills to think about flipping that on its head and giving someone like Alex with this talent the ability to reframe himself as a fine artist. And I think when you look at this is absolutely fine art. And the NFT opportunity is really about reframing it, reframing this skill and other skills that are perhaps more digital in that lens. It's just so exciting to see, you know, where he goes next after this.
Yeah, it is. And it's similar to, I mean, it's very different, but we had Smilesverse come on and talk about their project. This was like 2 months ago now, maybe. But same thing, right? Where an artist who maybe not getting the shine that they deserved yet, and now this space has created this opportunity for something like that. And that's what I mean, someone dabbling in a different type of art, same thing. Like anytime that these opportunities are created for people to get their due, like we'd love to see that. I saw a question from Topsy Kretz in the chat, which I thought was interesting because I did see this come up a little bit in the space. He said, is there anything in place to ensure the pieces released on your platform have not been sold by the artist previously or potentially could be resold in the future? Any thoughts on that? I'm sure that's come up for you guys.
Yeah, this is something that we address in our agreements with the artists. You know, we are, you know, very aware of some of the issues that have come up in the space around this. We are very hands-on in terms of discussing the artist's process, discussing their vision for the collection, and helping to bring in some of our knowledge about how to create 5,000 pieces out of a vision like this. So, you know, it wouldn't really be even possible for someone to bring in work that they had previously made and release it this way. But we, of course, are, you know, covering that, as I mentioned, in the agreement that we have with an artist like Alex. You know, one thing I will mention about that agreement is that when we do the art collection drops once per quarter, you know, each of those, the proceeds from those will always be split 50-50 with the artist. We want to be extra generous with the artists. We're not, you know, one of these, you know, like Fiverr companies, right? You know, that just, you know, like, oh, let's go find some people on Fiverr and create some cartoon characters and boom. You know, this is a true partnership that we solidify as 50-50. And so part of that conversation and getting that deal in place so that, you know, everybody understands the clarity of our relationship going forward is ensuring that the rights for the intellectual property rights for this art are covered such that the actual NFT owners have the rights to those pieces. We've also seen areas of issues around that in the space recently, and obviously some of the blowback against Larva Labs around their desire to sort of protect their IP. We don't view it that way. We think that this is really important for an artist to be able to, put this in their portfolio and say, this is, something I've delivered. So they have a carve out for that. But that kind of personal use is, it's very limited, and the rest of the rights go to the owner of the NFT.
Love that. I want to make sure. Oh, go ahead, Dustin.
Yeah, I just have a question. Is there, and I don't know if this is peeking too much behind, but is there a thought that if this takes off in a big way and the community is just so excited about it, and gets behind it instantly, right? Like we have an instant sellout. The first project comes along. Is there a thought of more than 4 a year for artists?
I mean, that's the dream, right?
Yeah. Oh, just
I was
curious.
waiting for you to say it's all.
Right, like it's just
you
you get so excited about it. You're owning these amazing pieces of art. People start to get more excited about jumping in and what's being collected, what artists are being supported. Maybe there's a 5th that jumps in. I'm just wondering. Also, I'm excited that there's an event for December 22, because anytime we can try and hang IRL, I'm into it.
It was a great question, Dustin, and anything will be possible. But the one thing you should keep in mind is that this team really works very closely with these artists, and we spend a lot of time on insane amount of details of ensuring that they have the appropriate, all the tools and everything they need to build their collection. So there will not be a point at which, it becomes a machine where you're trying to churn art. This is it's really truly about the art, and everything. We'll do it at the point that we feel that nothing and no detail is being missed. If they get the attention that they need, and if we can grow the team to the point that everyone's supported at the exact same level and not a single % of quality is dropped, then that will certainly be something that we will consider within our model.
That's exactly why I said a 5th and not like 10, right? Because I completely agree with that. It's just a factory, things slip, there's less quality control, and I can tell by only choosing 4, it's because there's going to be care and thought put into all of that. So that's why I thought, okay, well, maybe there's a 5th if it reaches a certain point. But yeah, you don't want to go overboard.
And I think without giving away too much about how the sausage is made, there have been some different mechanics that the team has been talking about since, since we started on this in October, that don't rear their heads currently, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's something that, if the community is into it. I can see Escape's like, what are you gonna say? But just like this team has so many ideas that I would be shocked if the way the society right now is, that it would be running the exact same way in a year. I think that it's only going to be cooler shit, constantly. Like that is our goal. The stuff that we've just turned out, even in the last 2 weeks, were from Signal chats. Like, well, what about this? And Div's like, yeah, no problem. The next morning, he's like, here you go. It's really exciting, and I think that's one of my favorite things about this project and Web3 in general.
I was just going to add that, Dustin, if you keep gunning for this, I'm just going to warn you, we spend a lot of time on Signal. So if you want to join the team, brother, you got to clear out some bandwidth.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
There we go.
Mike, how do you feel about that? Mike, are you okay with that?
Oh yeah. I don't know what I would do without your one appearance a week, Dustin.
Once a week I pop on.
Mike's already solidified his position with us as well, so it's all good.
Mike is the host with the most, my friend. Yeah. This guy is hardest working man in YouTube NFT space for sure. No one's doing more shows than him, so I got to pump Mike as much.
I like that. Let's try to get more qualifiers too. Like, he is the hardest working man in YouTube,
Monday through Friday,
NFT spaces in the mornings,
9 a.m. to 4 Eastern, something around there.
Oh, Man, well, listen, I want to be conscious of time. Where it's officially Friday afternoon where we are, so I don't want to keep you guys longer than we need to. But I want to make sure that we've like hammered everything down. I saw there was a couple of questions in the chat about like waitlist versus whitelist, and like just like what are like the nuts and bolts that we need to know heading into Tuesday if someone say is just finding out about it right now. And one other thing I wanted to say about that before I turn it over, I've been like impressed just by and you mentioned this a little bit earlier, the organic growth of this too, which everybody does their projects their own way. There's no like, well, I guess there are wrong ways to do it, but there's no like essentially right way to do it. And to me, it's just been cool like learning about this from people I trust and then like reading up on it versus someone tagging me in a tweet that I now have to retweet and tag 6 relatives and stuff like that. So it has been cool to just see that. So bravo on that for just kind of building hype with a good idea. Anyways, now I should have said that first and then asked the question, but there we are.
Speaking our language.
No, that's oh, go ahead, please.
I was just going to say, appreciate the call out about the organic growth because yeah, we've all been tagged in enough tweets, I think. So we were excited to try to build it a different way, slow and steady.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we all know and we've spent enough time in the space to know that if we wanted to employ tactics, by the way, to pump numbers, get 30,000 in the Discord, 20,000 in the Twitter. I mean, there are many tactics that some smart people can get together and get those going, but it's not what we do. And so that, for example, our advisor Josh Ong, Beijing Dao, like the way part of that partnership is it's not about spamming folks. It's not anything. We wanted Josh before we were even in docs. He was someone that has a brand within that community who had spent time with us and to a certain degree had vetted our project, and for him to be kind of associated with our project meant a vote of confidence for people. And now leading up to this moment, we had the opportunity to actually show ourselves and really just leave no stone unturned. So really excited. And again, I do genuinely want to thank you guys for bringing us onto your show and the flexibility. But I think, I want to pass it off to Escape. Quick question, comments.
Yeah, just want to make sure everybody's got the nuts and bolts down. So actually, if you scroll up on the site a little bit, a little bit more. Yep, you've seen our countdown there. The whole mint is going to take place here under a collector token mint. And so you can see that counting down to it's Monday night, midnight Pacific time. We chose that time so that there could be a solid overnight and early to mid morning block of 12 hours for our very early OG crew to get some minting in. After that, at noon the next day, noon Tuesday, we'll be opening that up to the first block of the whitelist, who are folks who were joined our community early adopters who were rewarding with those gold tokens. After that, 2 days later, Thursday at noon, we'll be opening it up to the rest of the waitlist. And so what that begins, we've got some folks on the whitelist who get to go first, and then we'll be going through the waitlist in order in small batches. So that this is not a gas wars scenario. That's another thing that we have been thinking carefully about, is how to avoid that. And so it really matters what position you're in the wait list. So if you're just finding out about the society now and you want to get in on this, come to our Discord, get the link to the wait list form, I should say, and get in, get your name in there stat because the order matters. I do see a question about eligibility for gold tokens. So there are 2,000 gold tokens, and we've put down 2,000 addresses on the whitelist for gold tokens. If every single one of those addresses mints, then we're out of gold tokens. There's no way for anyone else to get a gold token. I don't think we can expect everyone's going to mint. There's a lot of folks out there who like to put their names down on whitelists before they've even really read about a project. And if there are any folks like that, hopefully not too many on our list. Maybe they're even not right for us anyway, because we want people who are really engaged with this and part of our community. So any remaining gold tokens at that point will be available to the next group in the whitelist. and which is a much smaller group of 500. After that, again, if there are any gold tokens remaining, it will be open to folks on the wait list. So, we've built into our smart contract a CAPTCHA flow to keep the bots out. We, as mentioned, over the schedule that I just described, are taking a couple days to allow everyone to mint at their leisure. At times when gas is acceptable for them, it's all about really just the experience of our collectors and our early adopters and folks who've been given the socialite or owl status in our Discord, getting rewarded first for taking taking the plunge with us. But there's plenty of opportunity still for folks to get in off the wait list. So get your name down. Again, order matters. And we'll be looking forward to seeing you at the mint.
I'm also going to share Gene's comment because this felt more of like an elbow, like, hey guys, don't forget. So I don't, did you talk about socialites and any perks associated?
Yeah, so our socialites are, you'll see them in our Discord with the owl roll, which is an allusion to Athena's owls. That's her animal. It's like eating Hades right now with the snake on the screen. And those are, like Saul, Escape said, those are for the people that have spread the word, who have been engaging, who have been helping people new into the Discord, showing them where to go, where to sign up, the perks that they can expect. These are people that are rewarded with an opportunity to mint first. Will have access to a special Discord, and I think, what am I missing? A third thing? Someone bail me out.
Well, you get to be part of a
you get to be part of the wild owl
owling ceremony.
Flex.
Owling ceremonies are good times. That's when the Discord gets real popping. And
I was really excited to see on our sort of schedule of events for this last week, owl ceremony, specific time of day, like out of context. If you were looking at a team schedule for a big major release and you saw owl ceremony in there, like what would you even think?
Yeah, I would think that ends up on a Netflix documentary in like 10 years about a cult. That would be my guess.
Low-key cult vibes, but like chill cult vibes.
Yeah, like the ones, it's fine to be a part of.
A fun cult.
Great time. You just got to do a couple weird things. Everything else is totally fun.
Yeah, people are going to watch it. They love those. All right, guys, thanks so much for coming on. And did we get everything? I want to make sure we hit everything so you don't leave this being like, we should have said this. We feel good?
I think we're good.
Awesome. Well, for those of you tuning in, make sure, again, you can find, I threw the info in the chat as we were going on, but if you look in the show notes, you can find a link to the website as well as the Discord. So get in there. There's some great stuff in the Discord. I've only been in there for a couple of days, but I got some really good, coffee shop observational stuff in there, and it was really good. So definitely get in there just for that. And for that alone, it was really good. And yeah, just stay tuned. So big day on Tuesday. And yeah, guys, thanks so much for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Uncle Gene, Nikula. Thank you.
Uncle Gene, shout out. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Quick alpha drop. If you're interested in this project and you're on the wait list, you might want to keep your eyes on our advisor Josh Ong's Twitter account. Very soon. You might want to put those notifications on.
There we go.
Ooh.
Look at that. Alpha on the way out. That's how we do it. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This was a blast. I hope everybody has a good weekend, and we will see you next week. Yeah. More bacon.